Here we are, at Moonface's,
said Joe, and he banged on the door. It flew open, and Moonface looked out, his big round face one large smile, saying,
I thought you were never coming. You are late.
We brought this dirty little girl,
said Saucepan, and he pushed Connie forward. Moonface looked at her and smiled broadly.
She does look a bit dirty. I suppose she got into trouble with the angry pixie and got some of Dame Washlot's water on her too. Never mind. Come along in and we'll have a good tea. I've got some hot, cold goodies.
Whatever are they?
Asked Connie, and even the others hadn't heard of them. They all went into Moonface's exciting house. It was really rather extraordinary. In the very middle was a large hole with a pile of coloured cushions by it. Round the hole was Moonface's furniture, all curved to fit the roundness of the tree trunk. There was a curious curved bed, a curved sofa, and a curved stove and chairs, all set round the trunk inside the tree. Connie looked around.
It's very exciting. What's that hole in the middle?
Nobody answered her. They were too busy looking at the lovely tea that Moonface had put ready on the curved table. They wanted to know what the hot, cold goodies were like.
What's this hole?
Demanded Connie again, but no one bothered about her. She felt so curious that she went to the edge of the strange hole and put her foot in it to see if there were any steps down. She suddenly lost her balance and stepped right into the hole. She sat down with a bump and then, oh my goodness, she began to slide away at top speed down the hole that ran from the top of the tree to the bottom.
Where's Connie?
Asked Joe, suddenly looking round.
Not here, that's good.
Said Saucepan.
She must have fallen down the slippery slip.
But Silky exclaimed,
Oh, poor Connie. She'll be at the bottom of the tree by now. We'll have to go down and fetch her.
Tea with Moonface. Connie was frightened when she found herself slipping down the hole in the tree. She slid down and round, faster and faster. She gasped and her hair flew out behind her. She came to the bottom of the tree and her feet touched a little trap door set in the side there. It flew open and Connie shot out, landing on a soft tuft of moss, which the little folk grew there especially so that anyone using the tree slide might land softly. Connie sat there panting and frightened. She was at the bottom of the tree. The others were all at the top. Oh, they would be having tea together, laughing and joking.
If I knew the way home, I'd go, but I don't. Oh, what's that?
It was a red squirrel dressed in an old jersey. He came out of a hole in the trunk where he lived. He bounded over to Connie.
Where's your cushion, please?
What cushion?
Asked Connie.
The one you slid down on.
Said the squirrel.
I didn't slide down on one.
Said Connie. She stood up. The squirrel looked at the back of her.
My, you've worn out the back of your frock sliding down without a cushion. It's all in rags. Your petticoat is showing.
Poor Connie said.
Oh, this is a horrid afternoon. I've been splashed with ink and soaked with soapy water, and now I've worn out the back of my frock.
The trap door suddenly shot open again, and out flew Moonface on one of his cushions. He shouted to Connie,
I say, didn't you like my party? Why did you rush off so quickly?
I fell down that silly hole. Look at the back of my frock.
Oh, there's nothing to look at. You've worn it out, slipping down without a cushion.
Said Moonface.
Come on, I'll take you back. Look out, here comes a basket. It's one of Dame Washlot's biggest ones. I borrowed it from her to go back in. All right, Red Squirrel, don't take my cushion. I'll put it in the basket to sit on.
He helped Connie in, tugged at the rope, and then up they swung between the branches of the tree.
Here we are.
He called to Joe and the saucepan man, who were busy tugging at the rope to bring up the basket.
Thanks so much.
They went into Moonface's curved home and sat down again. Connie tried not to go near the hole. She was very much afraid of falling down it again. She took a hot, cold goodie. It was like a very, very big chocolate. Hot, cold goodies were peculiar. You put them into your mouth and sucked. As soon as you'd sucked the chocolate part off, you came to what seemed like ice cream. Joe sucked hard.
Oh, ice cream, cold as can be. Golly, it's too cold to bear. Oh, it's getting colder and colder. Moonface, I'll have to spit out my goodie. Oh, it's too cold for me.
But just as he said that, the hot, cold goodie stopped being cold and got hot. At first it was pleasantly warm, and then it got very hot. Bessie called out,
Mine's almost burning me. Oh, now it's gone ice cold again. Moonface, what extraordinary things. Wherever did you get them?
I bought them from a witch who popped down from the land of marvels today. Funny, aren't they?
Then Silky asked,
What land did we say was at the top of the tree today? Oh, yes, the land of marvels. That's right. I went there last year, I remember.
What was it like?
asked Fanny. Silky smiled.
Marvellous. All wonders and marvels. There's a ladder that hasn't any top. You go on and on climbing up it, and you never reach the top. And a tree that sings whenever the wind blows. A cat that tells your fortune. And a silver ball that takes you all round the world and back in the wink of an eye. Well, I can't tell you all the marvels there are.
I'd like to go and see them,
said Joe. Silky shook her head.
You can't. The land moves on today. It would be dangerous to go there now because it might move on at any minute. Then you'd be stuck in the land of marvels.
I don't believe a word of it,
said Connie. Seeing Silky look rather surprised, Joe explained,
She doesn't believe in anything magic. Don't take any notice of her, Silky. She'll believe all right soon. I shall not. I'm beginning to think this is all a horrid dream. Well, go home and go to bed and dream your dream there,
said Joe, getting tired of Connie. Connie got up offended.
I will go home. I'll climb down the tree myself and ask that kind red squirrel to see me home. This is a horrid party.
The silly girl went to the door, opened it, went out and banged it shut. The others stared at one another. After a while, Moonface asked,
Is she always like that?
Yes,
said Joe.
She's very spoilt, you know. Wants her own way always, and turns up her nose at everything.
But Connie hadn't gone down the tree. She stood outside on a branch, sulking. She looked down the tree and saw Dame Washalot busy washing again. Silly old woman. She looked upwards. She was nearly at the top of the tree. She thought it would be fun to climb right up to the top and look down on the forest. What a long way she would see. She climbed upwards. She came to the top of the tree, and to her great astonishment, the last branch of all touched the clouds. Yes, it went straight up into a vast white cloud that hung floating over the top of a tree. She went up the last branch, and to her still greater amazement, there was a little ladder leading through the thickness of the cloud from the branch. A ladder! Connie was full of great curiosity. She could hardly bear to wait to see what was at the top of the ladder. She climbed it, and suddenly her head poked through the cloud and into a new and different land altogether. She climbed up into the land. There was a curious noise in the air. Strange people walked quickly past, some looking like witches and some like goblins. They took no notice of Connie. Then she heard a goblin shout,
The land is on the move.
Quickly, she scrambled back down the ladder. At the bottom, she stopped and said to herself,
That was close. Now I know the children were telling the truth about the magic of the faraway tree.
and she went back to Moonface's tea party and had a lovely welcome. When the music stops, turn your cassette over